A new sun rose over Europe. Scholars challenged traditions, explorers crossed unknown seas, and poets gave voice to a new vision of humanity. From this intellectual explosion emerged the Renaissance, or the golden dawn of English literature. A time when artists painted masterpieces that still leave us speechless. Writers created characters more alive than real people, and scientists dared to challenge beliefs that had remained unquestioned for centuries. Hello and welcome back to Literature with Jaisal. Today we are going to explore one of the most exciting periods in human history, the Renaissance. To understand why the Renaissance was revolutionary, we must first look at the world that came before it. During the Middle Ages, life was heavily controlled by tradition and religious authority. Most people accepted the world exactly as it was. Education was limited, books were rare, and questioning accepted beliefs was often discouraged. Yet beneath the surface, change was quietly gathering strength. The first signs appeared in the city states of Italy during the 14th century. Scholars began rediscovering the writings of ancient Greece and Rome. These texts spoke of reason, beauty, and human achievement. They encouraged people to observe, think, and question. Suddenly, human beings were no longer viewed merely as sinners preparing for the afterlife. They were seen as individuals capable of greatness. This new way of thinking became known as humanism, and it would become the beating heart of the Renaissance. By the end of the 15th century, the Renaissance had reached England. The country was emerging from the chaos of the Wars of the Roses, and the Tudor dynasty brought a period of relative stability. Peace encouraged trade, prosperity, and learning. Under rulers like Henry VIII and Elizabeth I, England became strong and curious about the world. At the same time, remarkable developments were transforming Europe. William Caxton introduced the printing press to England, making books more available than ever before. Knowledge that had once been locked away in monasteries could now reach ordinary readers. Ideas traveled faster and minds opened wider. Meanwhile, explorers were pushing beyond the boundaries of the known world. Christopher Columbus sailed westward across the Atlantic. Vasco da Gama found new routes to the east. Each voyage expanded humanity's understanding of the world and inspired writers and thinkers to dream beyond traditional limits. The spirit of discovery was everywhere. People wanted to know more, see more, and become more. The Renaissance was driven by three powerful ideas. First, curiosity, the desire to learn, question, and discover. Second, individualism, the belief that every person has unique ability and potential. Third, worldly joy, the celebration of beauty, love, nature, and life itself. People began studying science, exploring distant lands, creating beautiful works of art, and writing imaginative literature. The world suddenly seemed full of possibilities. This hunger for knowledge was strengthened by another great movement, the Reformation. Religious reformers challenged the authority of the Church and demanded change. In England, Henry VIII broke away from Rome and established the Church of England. As old certainties weakened, new ideas gained strength. At the same time, scientists like Copernicus and Galileo transformed humanity's understanding of the universe. Their discoveries suggested that the earth was not the center of creation, forcing people to rethink their place in the cosmos. The Renaissance reached its greatest flowering during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. Her rule is often described as England's golden age, and for good reason. Literature, theatre, exploration, and learning flourished as never before. The atmosphere was filled with optimism and ambition. Writers celebrated beauty, adventure, and human potential. The English language itself seemed to come alive with new energy. No literary form captured this spirit more completely than drama. The stage became a mirror of human life, reflecting its hopes, fears, ambitions, and passions. Writers moved beyond simple religious plays and began exploring human emotions, ambitions, and conflicts. Christopher Marlowe fascinated audiences with the story of Dr. Faustus, a man willing to sell his soul in pursuit of unlimited knowledge. Yet, even Marlowe's brilliance would be overshadowed by a playwright whose influence remains unmatched. William Shakespeare transformed the possibilities of drama. Through plays such as Hamlet, Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, and A Midsummer Night's Dream, he explored every dimension of human experience. Love and hatred, ambition and guilt, comedy and tragedy all found expression in his works. Another important dramatist was Ben Jonson, known for witty comedies like Volpone, which satirized greed and human foolishness. Poetry also flourished during this remarkable age. Sir Thomas Watt and the Earl of Surrey introduced the sonnet into English literature. Edmund Spenser created the magnificent world of the Fairy Queen, while Sir Philip Sidney explored the complexities of love and emotion. Their poetry combined beauty, imagination, and musical language, reflecting the confidence and creativity of the Renaissance spirit. Even prose reached new heights. Sir Thomas More's Utopia imagined an ideal society, encouraging readers to question the imperfection of their own world. Sir Francis Bacon championed observation and practical wisdom, laying foundations for modern scientific thinking. The publication of the King James Bible in 1611 further enriched the English language, influencing generations of writers and readers. Yet no golden age lasts forever. As the Renaissance moved into its later stages, literature became darker and even more introspective. Writers explored suffering, uncertainty, and morality. Shakespeare's great tragedies reflected a growing awareness of human weakness and conflict. Metaphysical poets such as John Donne used striking and unconventional imagery to explore love, faith, and death. The optimism of the early Renaissance gradually gave way to anxiety and division. Eventually, political conflict erupted into civil war. Theatres were closed, public entertainments were restricted, and the vibrant energy that had defined the Renaissance began to fade. The age of rebirth had come to an end. Yet its legacy remains everywhere around us. The Renaissance taught humanity to question, to imagine, and to create. It encouraged people to believe in the power of knowledge and the potential of the human mind. In many ways, the modern world is one of its greatest creations. More than 5 centuries later, the Renaissance still reminds us of a timeless truth. Civilizations progress when people dare to think, discover, and dream beyond the limits of their age. Thank you for watching.